What's up, Burn Nation? Welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. Today, I'm excited because I am going to be interviewed by DJ Splain here. So she's sitting next to me on the couch. DJ is a friend and our brand manager for Devan and I. So she's been with Burn for 8 years. So she's got some burning questions that came directly from some of you that follow me on Instagram. And she thought of some of her own. So she's just going to hit me with these. I don't really know what they are. So here we go.
Yeah,
you ready?
Get ready for it. Yeah.
What's my first one?
We're just going to start off with a bang. So looking forward, what do you see the biggest challenges and opportunities in the health and fitness industry being? Going into a new year, 2024, I feel like a lot has changed. There's a lot out there in the ways of weight loss and dieting, even still now that we've all kind of come to this realization. What do you see as the biggest challenge?
That's a great question, because I think if you think about when we were younger, we had to face like the magazines and I always think of the Cosmo magazine, like at the checkout counter at the grocery store. And I can remember you'd flip to that and you'd get all these exercises and it was like how to get a flat tummy. And so I feel like as a generation, we women especially have kind of gotten past that era of wanting to be skinny and be strong. But now I feel like what we're faced with is two things. Number one, social media, which is a highlight reel. And number two, a lot of this medical weight loss right now, right? So no shade if you're needing to take, Ozempic or any semaglutides, but honestly, a lot of people are doing it just to get a quick fix. Yeah. And I think that that's really scary. And then someone maybe isn't truthful about that and they're showing this highlight reel on their Instagram or their social media. And us, other women are like, oh, and we're thinking in the back of my mind, like, should I do that? And so I think we're now kind of up against another wave of like these quick fixes and, us doing things to an extreme to feel like we need to fit in and also look and feel the same way someone else is.
And what would you say the biggest opportunity is now for us?
For us at Burn Bootcamp, I think we still continue to lean into, it's not about, how you look, it's about how you feel. Yeah. And that, being strong is going to sustain you longer than being skinny. Because, with all due respect, when you lose and drop that much weight, you are going to be losing lean muscle. And over time, that's going to mess your metabolism up. As soon as you get off a drug that's helping you lose weight, it's going to come back even quicker. I've seen it happen with so many different things, so many like the keto diet, like just so many things over the last 10 years. I've seen anytime there's a quick fix and you almost have to be on that or you're going to bounce back. And that I think has more damaging effects to your mental health than anything. And so for Burn, I think we're going to continue to preach the message of, to be confident in the skin that you're in at every size, at every fitness level. And again, that strong is more important than being skinny.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. And I totally resonate with that as well. And it's so important to establish routines because you take these things and you can lose the weight, but it's like, if you keep your routine going and you have something healthy, then you're going to find more satisfaction in that long term than a quick fix.
Absolutely.
And then thinking about fitness and wellness, a lot of times it can feel really exclusive to people who maybe haven't done it before or have kind of fallen off the wagon. What steps is Burn Bootcamp taking to make fitness more accessible and inclusive for people of all ages, abilities, backgrounds, etc.?
Well, we always say we meet you where you're at. So whether that's you're walking into an actual physical location, we want you to know that you don't need to get in shape to come to Burn Bootcamp. And that's obviously a message we need to continue to preach. And we have modifications for anybody that, is just working out. But the app that we just launched at the end of last year is another way to bring fitness to people where they're at, whether they don't have a Burn Bootcamp or even a gym. Take Burn Bootcamp out of the mix. Everybody should be able to be a part of something where they know that they can press play or they can walk in and they're going to feel loved and valued. And we're going to make sure that you feel safe working out and that you feel like you're not in competition with someone who maybe is in better shape than you. So I think through the app and through the locations, that's exciting for us because we now have the opportunity to continue to reach communities and places that we weren't before.
Yeah, and there's a lot of variety on the app too. Which
over 12 categories.
Really nice.
We're getting ready to add some more.
Oh, really? That's exciting.
Yeah, so exciting things to come. But yeah, I mean, it's not just a 45-minute camp now. It's these 20-minute quick camps, which I absolutely love because I still feel like I can get something done if I don't have the full 45 minutes. There's recovery, there's boxing, knockout. There's kids camp. Like there's so many different ways to just move your body, which I think should be everybody's goal in 2024 is just to stay moving.
Speaking of goals for 2024, I know we don't. I've been here long enough to know that we don't do New Year's resolutions, but we do like to set goals. And so somebody asked, what are your personal goals for 2024?
All right, I will show you. Okay. I have it in my notes section.
Pull it out.
So I've talked about it before. I'm not a huge resolution person. I like intentions. I like a system that works for me is what is the buckets of my life. And so as I think about it, I think about, okay, what do I want the end of the year to look like? And then what do I need to stop doing? And what do I need to start doing? Because like I've said in podcasts before, people can set these crazy goals, but then if they don't have a strategy that backs them into that, then it's literally just a goal.
And I feel like people just hang their hat so heavily on a resolution. I need to change in January.
Yeah.
And I think one of the trends that I've really enjoyed seeing on social media recently is the ins and outs. What are you going to stop doing? What are you going to start doing? And it's not I need to lose 25 pounds or reinvent my whole body January 1st, moving on.
Yep. So I have a couple different buckets. So bear with me here. My first bucket is money and assets. So my goal with money and assets is to learn new tax strategies and how to manage my money to help with tax strategies.
Fascinating.
So, obviously as Burn Bootcamp grows, we have a big tax liability at the end of the year. And so it's not that I don't believe in paying taxes, but I also believe of being smart with your money and reinvesting your money in ways that can lower that tax liability. I have no shame in saying that because that money to me goes right back into the economy and I get to choose what to do with those dollars. So we have an incredible CPA team and they are teaching me and Devan a lot of things, but I'm also a big proponent of don't just learn through one person or group. So I want to just do my own research and I want to start to learn new tax strategies. So what do I need to start doing? I need to start researching and asking more questions when I am talking with my CPAs. I don't want them to just tell me what to do. I want to ask questions to understand different tax, strategies and tax code. So that means I have to stop relying on just someone telling me something, which can be easy, whether that's learning a new skill or, paying your taxes. It's easy to just rely on somebody else and just be like, okay, they told me this, so I'm just going to do it. They're the experts. But I'm just starting to crave knowing that myself because then I feel empowered to be like, yeah, that is the right decision to make. So that's money and assets. Family and friends, I have travel, create memories, and pour into relationships. That's not really a SMART goal, which, is hard because how do you look at the end of the year and say that was an accomplishment? Last year, Devan and I said we wanted to take 35 days of a vacation. So I probably need to put a metric on this one. Yeah. But what I need to start doing is prioritizing my family first and then letting work stop me from doing what I want. So 2023, as you know, because you sit right outside of my office, was a really, really busy year for me. I've, been in this transition of restructuring my leadership team. And so I've just been in a lot of meetings and just I'm go from 8 to 5. And then I get home and I'm not able to really pour into my family. So just protecting my time a lot more in 2024.
Protect your peace, people.
Protect my peace and my time. Career and business. So I want to hit a 20% EBITDA. So that's basically how successful our company is at the end of the day. What are our earnings after all of our taxes and depreciation and assets and all of that. So what do I need to start doing? Being disciplined and making decisions that only get us closer to that goal. So instead of just doing gut decisions, really making sure there's an ROI to money we're spending and decisions that we're making. And then what do I need to stop doing? Giving time where it's not needed or valued. So again, this goes just back to my own protecting my time and time management, making sure that Morgan is doing only the things that yields the best ROI for the company and for me personally. Health and Fitness hit 250 camps.
Yeah.
So that means I actually have to sign in.
I know.
I
know. I'm guilty
I've been
of
good
that
so
too.
far. We're in like week 2 of January and I'm like, okay, don't forget to sign in. Don't forget to sign in. Because my OG mind is like still like, you just walk into camp and it's all good.
Know, it is. It's
but
hard,
I love seeing everybody else celebrate their
Mhm.
milestones. And I've never really had an idea of how many I hit. So my goal is 250 and that's on the app and that's in location. So I love that we're able to count that, but being able to do both. So what do I need to start doing? Using my app.
Yeah.
But also
Step
using the different workouts while traveling, right? Not letting traveling be an excuse that like, hey, there's not a burn around.
Yeah.
And then stop making excuses. Development and growth. I want to read 10 books. So what do I need to start doing? Reading 20 minutes during the weeknights. And stop scrolling social media at night.
I know. I want to do that too. I used to love reading and I think I just kind of like I wasn't finding a lot of books that really tickled my fancy, but now I feel like there's so much stuff out there. So give us some good book
give us some good book recommendations. I don't have a big lineup right now.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I continue to scroll. But I need some good books. Last one, rituals and routines. So 3 times a week, I want to do our 30-minute sauna and I want to lead up. I want to get myself up to a 1-minute cold plunge. So Devan and I invested in a hot sauna at the end of 2023. And then we got like a cold plunge. And so we've got our setup right next to each other. It's on our outside porch. And just like 3 days a week, I want to do like a 30-minute and a 1-minute thing.
Yeah.
So
it does feel good. It does feel good. I hate to admit it.
I know.
I hate to admit it.
I know I'm not going to get a minute right from the get. And so I know I just need to like lead up to. So at the end of the year, if I can sit in a cold plunge for a minute, I'm going to be patting myself
and I've heard it's
back.
all about like the breathing.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had 3 kids. I've had 2. The breathing techniques. It does come into play. I feel like we channel back into that.
So I'm going to start building this into my schedule. That's what I have to start doing. And then I need to stop sleeping in because ideally I want to do this in the mornings and then like jump in the shower. Yeah. So just getting that in my routine. So thanks for bearing with me.
As a friend, I'm going to keep you accountable to that.
Thank you. I do. I appreciate accountability buddies.
No, they're much needed. So with that being said, I know you said like health and nutrition. You've posted a couple of times about your AG1 greens. How long have you been using those and or greens and what effects have you seen from taking it?
About 2 years I've had it. Like I have just the auto ship and like sometimes I'm really good at it and sometimes it kind of just sits there like everything else. Right. But when I take it, I'm mixing in my creatine now, my collagen, and it really does like make my digestion a lot better. And I think they're good. Like I think it's, you're getting some vitamins and minerals. So really it's more mental, but it also does help, I would say, with just digestion in general.
Yeah. I feel like it just doesn't hurt.
No.
It's one of those things where maybe it's not going to like change your whole body, but
no, it's not something that I have like these drastic effects. But like mentally, again, I know I'm getting some greens in, some vitamins, some minerals that I'm, depleted of. And then now I'm adding in the collagen and the creatine. Yeah. So it's just an easy, quick drink to do.
Yeah, it is. And it all mixes so well. And it doesn't feel like gritty or grainy or feeling like you're chugging greens, which can be kind of gross sometimes.
Yeah. But like Devan does that Suja drink. And I'm like,
oh, yeah. No, I've seen him drink that. And he just like, it's down.
It's down. But, I mean, he thinks that's better than the powdered grains. We go back and forth, but you do you and I'm going to do me.
I totally get that. How's your health journey been going with your functional doctor? I know that you've talked about that a lot.
Yeah, it's good. I'm kind of in a maintenance mode. I haven't really met with her. I did a whole series of supplements and the biggest thing was like some gut health issues, some hormone issues, and I feel so much better about it. Like I don't feel like my stomach is not as bloated. That's what I went there for. I was like holding on to stubborn belly fat, and I would say that like kind of since working with her, we went hard though. Like we went hard with some protocols. I did like coffee enemas. I did a whole series of supplements. I did a lot of infrared sauna. I did castor oil packs on my stomach.
You like cut caffeine.
I
remember
cut
that
caffeine for a while.
How are you doing that?
And then I like got back on caffeine. I will say the one thing that I still need to work on is waking up and having coffee first. Like you should not do that. And I was actually just doing a podcast with somebody about gut health. And like, that's one of the biggest things that women do. And we like think we can survive off coffee in the morning. We really need to wake up and eat protein first because that just takes our cortisol levels and just our hormones out of whack. So that is one thing. It
sustains you far longer too.
It's just something about waking up and like having that coffee that like
your hands wrapped around your mug and it's so warm.
It's more routine than anything. Like I don't even think it really wakes me up.
It's definitely like a ritual.
Yeah.
I've seen, at least for like me personally.
Yeah. I highly recommend working with, someone because here's the thing, DJ, I went to the doctor and I had them run a blood test and like I told them the same exact symptoms. And my doctor was like, well, what's new in your life? Like, are you stressed? And I was like, not really. But he's like, well, what's changed? And I was like, well, I became CEO. Because he was like, what's going on at work? I'm like, well, I became CEO. And he's like, well, there you go. So like, and I love my doctor. Don't get me wrong. But he's like, your blood work looks good. I think it's just because my cycles were off. I was having like these really long cycles, like 38 days, 40 days. So that's what prompted me to go. Like my body was doing something different, which is like, I'm super in tune with my body.
Yeah.
And his response was just like, oh, you're stressed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I think there's more to that.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling like something's not right in your body and you're going through weird changes, I would just encourage you to go deeper because there's likely something under that like initial blood work and under the surface that you can start to just make these small changes.
And if anything, they can at least because I worked with one for a little while when we were trying to have our second kid and they monitor you over a course of time. Yeah. So then it's not like, I'm sure your doctor wasn't incorrect with saying, hey, all of your blood work came back normal, but it came back normal. For that time in that specific place. Like they're not looking at it, especially as women, we have cycles over the course of that cycle. So I don't think he was wrong, but he just wasn't monitoring it the way that it should be.
And I think like modern Western medicine, like normal ranges are different than like the doctor I was working with. So she was able to say like, yeah, that might be normal, but like, it's not where I want it to be for you, for your age, for your health. Like she was able to take in so many different considerations about me versus just like the normal range that we've deemed in society. Yeah. So it's good. Yeah. But I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like I did the work and now I'm just like, again, in that maintenance mode.
Yeah. You're getting to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
No, that's very exciting and good to hear. Now we're going to switch back to like mom mode parenting. Okay. So with the increasing concern over screen time and like digital consumption, especially for like us, we're talking about how we, want to eliminate our scrolling at night and all of that. What advice do you have to offer to mothers regarding like a digital detox and managing screen time for themselves and their families?
Yeah, I think it's tough. It's right in front of us. Every single one of my kids has an iPad because when we travel, like that's what saves my life with 3 kids traveling. Yeah. But when we're not traveling, like the iPad goes up to the top shelf. And so I think it's just like creating boundaries around like those digital devices, right? Where it's like right there in their face. It's like you only get this when we're doing this activity, whether that's a long car ride or a flight or something like that. But then obviously like TV in our house we just got to set guidelines. Like we're not watching TV before bed. We're not watching it first thing in the morning. But I also am a big fan of like when I'm cooking dinner or I'm trying to get something done. I use the TV and I don't have shame about that. Like it is what it is. I know it's probably not the best for them, but I also know that our kids are going to grow up around technology and screens. Like Cameron's already using screens just in school. And excuse me, she has like an IXL. I think it's IXL. It's IXL. And so like we have other apps on the devices that we have. So when they are on it, they're at least using those and it's learning. So I think it's obviously about time that they're in front of screens, but it's almost like, what are they consuming? Yeah. So like the best thing you can do for yourself is take YouTube off of every device in your home, because I have fallen victim to letting my kids like watch those fun little YouTube things where when they're kids. Yeah. And then like at one point it's gone down a rabbit hole and I was like, oh, like, what are you watching? You know? And so
the ads, like you might not even be watching that video, but it pops up. It's so crazy.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, back to your question, my kids all have screen time and we have TVs in our house, but we just try to keep some boundaries. And I can totally tell when my kids have watched more than like what is the norm for us. Because Cameron's attitude is like, you know, like she has a little bit of an attitude. Same with Ryan. Maxwell actually could care less about screens. It's so funny how every kid is different. He'd rather play like Pokemon and go upstairs and like read a book. He's just my little sweet boy. But I think it's just, again, and also giving yourself grace. There's going to be times in the day or in the week that you need it to be on. And like right now, Devan's traveling for 4 days. So I'm home solo with them at night, you know? And so it's like, I kind of just need to survive.
Yeah, no, I totally get that too. And we function the same way, but it's like in those times where I do need it, it's like, what are they watching? And then I'll say, hey, we either need to watch a learning show or you're watching this like low stimulant cartoon that they like. It's still a cartoon, but it's like, that's where I draw the line. And then that's it. And she knows, okay. And so then she starts to like the learning shows. And so I think having the boundaries with what it is they're consuming is going to be crucial. Because again, they're going to have screens. They're growing up in a technology world. So
Yep.
How does Burn Bootcamp stay informed about the latest research and trends in like supplements and everything? And how do you combat misinformation when it comes to that in our world?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously between all of our team here at headquarters, like we all get to have a voice when it comes to the Burn Bootcamp messaging out there, you know? And so I think it's a lot of just staying on top of the trends. For me is like listening to like what our members are saying, what are the gaps in their life. And that kind of segues to the second question about like supplements or products. Like every product that we've put out has been because we're trying to solve a problem for our members first. So I think for us, like I don't get too caught up in a ton of trends and like things unless I know it's impacting our demographic. Right. And so I think we do good with what we know, and we don't try to be the expert on everything either. Right. So like I'm not going to try to be controversial and like put out a bunch of, you know, different things out there. I just want to kind of serve the member and educate them on the things that we're really, really good at. So I think for us, it's just keeping our ear out to the membership.
Yeah, no, that's good. What are some common factors that you have observed in weight loss success stories that might be helpful for other people on a similar journey?
That's a good question. I think, especially when I was a trainer and working directly with our members, you know, doing focus meetings, the ones that had the most success were the ones that had accountability and like were actually checking in with me on a regular cadence. And so whether that's your trainer at your gym or, you know, somebody else at like a weight loss clinic, I think having somebody that's holding you accountable is what's going to help you in the long term, because you're going to learn tools about, and you're going to educate yourself on like what's working and what's not. So the people that are interested and invested in learning how to make changes for their body and not just taking a meal plan and like eating it, like why, you know, why are these my calories? Why do I need to get protein in? Like when you learn the benefits of eating the way someone is telling you to eat, you're just more equipped and empowered and educated to then like have that be just your knowledge. And when you know better, you do better. Yeah. It's hard to know things and then like do the opposite. Yeah. But if you're just kind of naive and it's just like, I'm just eating this way because my doctor told me or my trainer told me, it's like, but why?
Yeah. Well, then it can become your lifestyle. Yeah. To your point. Yeah. Because you know better.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's slow and steady first and foremost. Like anyone that understands that is going to have better long-term results, accountability, and then like actually learning why protein's good for you, like why you need to eat good calories, like why, like the why behind it for me are the people that then have long-term success.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, our last question. What are some ways to gently encourage consistency in a fitness routine for somebody who's going through emotional battles? So with a big weight loss, there could be other emotional, mental things, or just somebody who is going through a really tough time. Yeah. and trying to get them to continue to stay healthy. 'Cause
Yeah.
it can be really hard.
Yeah. I think giving yourself just a lot of grace, and also like don't underestimate just the power of moving your body. So sometimes I think there's a misconception that it has to be an hour workout, or it has to be like lifting weights, even though I am a huge proponent of strength training. If you're going through a hard time or you're feeling a certain way, like just don't underestimate the power of going for a walk and like putting your phone down and like taking just a moment to kind of like just be.
Yeah.
And I think that not just helps like physically, but also emotionally too. So if you're struggling to get to the gym because of something that's happening outside of, the gym or in your life, just continue to try to do a couple of things each day to make yourself better. Don't overwhelm yourself, but go for a walk. Like just choose water over soda. Like just do these little things that can keep you going, get you through that time where motivation comes back.
And probably having an accountability person too.
Absolutely.
To check in.
Absolutely. I think that helps with anything in life, right?
Pretty
not
much
just
most problems.
Not just our fitness, but like we having that community, right? Having those people or that person that you can call on that can say like, hey, let's go for a walk together, or hey, let's go eat a healthy meal. Let's go meal prep. Like that is key to success. But that's I know that's hard to find sometimes.
It is. It's tricky.
Beth and I talked about that too, like in our last podcast, about just finding community that wants to see you win is challenging. So that's what I love so much about Burn Boot Camp, is because it's a built-in community that you just got to ask, and people are they're going to show up for you.
And sometimes you don't even have to ask, which is even better.
That's very true. Very true.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on and letting me ask you some questions. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, I hope you guys got a little bit more insight into my brain. Thank you for engaging with the questions, following me on Instagram, morgan.a.kline. I love answering questions because sometimes, I don't know what you guys want to hear. So it's super helpful. Thanks, DJ, again for being on. Thanks for listening. We're going to end like we always do. 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.
Bye, guys.